news on Magic Bricks now, India's first property channel. I'm Amita Balchandra. Let's first take a look at the top headlines at this hour. Homes in Mumbai and Pune may become even more expensive as the Maharashtra government plans to hike the ready reckoner rate across the state. So, will your dream home be out of reach very soon? That's our big story tonight. In our special New Year series, Property 2016, we get you the outlook for the Hyderabad market and tell you what to expect from this market in 2016. And what do citizens expect from the realty market in 2016? Will fence-sitters finally go out and buy this new year? We bring you the lowdown on the home buyers' expectations for the new year. Alright, straight up, our top story. If you're planning to buy a home in Maharashtra, you may have to shell out more moolah very soon. Why? Well, the government of Maharashtra is mulling over a revision in the ready reckoner rate. While the state government had planned not to hike rates this new year, we now know the rates will be hiked by a moderate 5%. My colleague Ruchi Deshpande is standing by with all the details. Ruchi, tell us, will the home buyers have to pay more money for property now?
It looks like the home buy, if you're a home buyer, you will have to shell out more in order to go in for that dream home, because the government of Maharashtra is mulling a ready reckoner revision in the coming year, that is 2016. Now, since the know that the government basically increases this ready reckoner rate every year by a certain amount, and it has been on an upward spiral since 2008, where it was at approximately 8,000 crore rupees to 2015, which has increased by about 10,000 crore rupees to almost 18,000 crore. That is how much revenue the government has collected due to these ready reckoner rates. Now, this year the hike was supposed to be between 15% to 20%, but a lot of developers as well as politicians went to the state government and made representations in order to ease the pressure of sales under the already reeling realty sector, as well as meet the housing for all target by 2022. Now, note that if there is an increase in the ready reckoner rates, this means an increase in the prices that makes housing for all inaccessible. Now, we also learn that the government of Maharashtra considered this and now has planned to hike the ready reckoner rates by a moderate 0 to 5% instead of the earlier 15 to 20%. But then again, it does mean that you as a home buyer will have to shell out extra if you want to go in for that dream home.
Alright, remember the government had mandated a 15% hike in rates earlier, but now it's a moderate 0 to 5%. Also earlier, we caught up with Shantilal Kataria, the president of MCHI Credai in Pune, and asked him what kind of an impact this will have on the market. Let's listen in to what he has to say.
Considering the current scenario of real estate, this year they should not increase the ESR rates. We came to know that government is likely to increase the rates. So again we approached our various associations in Maharashtra, approached Revenue Minister and Chief Ministers, and they said that they will again recheck, and this time, considering the market scenario, we will not increase that much rate like we have increased in earlier years. Earlier it was ready reckoner. Now, after intervention of High Court, it is ESR, that is annual statement rates. That means government has accepted that their procedure of working out is not absolutely correct. Why to pay more if my sale cost is less? Secondly, this increment in ready reckoner ESR rates by the government gives indirect benefit to the state government in terms of premiums, because in last 7-8 years premiums of various procedures are linked with the ESR rates, ready reckoner rates. On realty sector, because of the increment in the ESR rates, various premiums will be increased, which in turn will have to be paid by the customers. Secondly, if the transaction is of the less cost than the ESR rates, even then the purchaser will have to pay the stamp duty on the ESR rates, which they are not paying to the builder. So this artificial increment in the stamp duty and the premiums actually will be a burden to the purchaser.
All right, remember a moderate 0 to 5% rate hike has been mandated by the state government. Let's also get another builder voice in. I have Rohit Gera, Managing Director at Gera Developments, joining me all the way from Pune. Thank you so much for joining us here on Magic Picks now, Mr. Gera. First question to you. Is the government's mandate to, revise rates from 15%, which was mandated earlier, to 0 to 5%. Does this spell relief for both the builders and the consumers?
Sentiment is poor. Interest rates aren't really coming down. Developers are struggling to make sales. If you look at prices over the year, for the most part, prices have actually corrected. And in this situation, we should be thankful for getting a 5% increase.
Mr. Gera,
that's just
tell
ridiculous.
us, how justified is this hike going to be, considering the sluggish realty market and the fact that the government has to ensure it meets the revenue targets for the year?
Now, you're going to create further inflation by increasing the ASR rates, by increasing the ready reckoner rates, by raising the premiums that the government is going to end up collecting. It certainly increases their revenue, but it increases the cost to the developer. That increases the cost to the end consumer. Let's make sure about one thing. If the end consumer has to buy, homes have to be more affordable. The other thing about this ready reckoner system, it's completely flawed. You can't take an average rate in a location and make that the ready reckoner rate. The system has to be, you take the lowest rate and then you start adding to that to arrive at what a ready reckoner rate for a certain project should be. The whole concept of average is fundamentally flawed because the affordable homes are the ones that are below the average rate. So the the developers who are actually doing affordable homes at lower than the average market price, those customers are being burdened disproportionately. That's why I say it's a completely ridiculous proposition.
All right, we also had the Delhi High Court come out with a recent order where in that region there could be a different way of calculating circle rates that exists in the region. Do you think this is a good alternative to the ready reckoner rate system?
There is a land rate and then there is a rate for the apartments as well. Now, the land rate for a zone or for an area of maybe 10 or 20 survey numbers cannot differentiate substantially. But if there is a luxury project next to an affordable project, the land rate for the luxury project in the ready reckoner is much higher than the land rate for the affordable project. Fundamentally, the logic is flawed. Land rate is the same regardless of what the product you create is an outcome of the value that you're adding in the development. That does not increase the land rate for a certain project, but that's how they do it. And so there is a complete need to overhaul the way the ready reckoner rates are actually assessed and arrived at. There's no doubt about that. And unless and until we do that, you will find people which are in the affordable segment, which is the mass market, where the real need for homes is, which the government is trying to focus on, end up bearing the burden of this approach.
All right, taking into consideration the government's push for affordable housing, do you think affordable homes should be exempted from the ready reckoner rate system going forward?
I don't think this waiving of taxes should be done, but I think certainly rationalizing is the need of the hour, and certainly not unduly burdening one segment, which is currently happening. The affordable person, while the ready reckoner rate may be, the tax rate may be 6%, if you're buying 10% or 15% below the ready reckoner rate, you're actually paying 7 and 8%. Now you're buying an affordable home and your net rate of stamp duty is actually higher. Okay. And that's being borne by the affordable guy. What are you going to do about that? Certainly I think that there is need to relook at this.
All right, Mr. Gera, thank you so much for joining us here on Magic Bricks. Now, moving on, a petition has been filed in the Delhi High Court against the Competition Commission of India, or CCI, over alleged cartelization charges. The petition was also filed against builder body Credai and 20 developers, including Unitech, Tata Housing, BPTP, Oberoi Realty, and Purvankara projects. The petition challenges CCI's January order regarding the alleged cartelization among builders. The CCI dismissed the matter through an order. The Delhi High Court has issued notices to CCI, Credai and the developers seeking a response to this petition. The matter is scheduled to be heard on January 18th, and also on Magic Bricks Now we shall keep you updated on this as and when it progresses. It's time now to move on to a special series on investment opportunities in the new year, Property 2016. We've been talking about residential and commercial markets in different cities, especially the top 4 metros. There's one city that has had a turnaround over the last 1 year, and that is Hyderabad. And why not? There's been a change in the government, which means stable political environment. There's also been strong demand for commercial realty, especially in the western region of Hyderabad. This obviously has had a direct impact on residential real estate market, with some of the emerging areas being High-Tech City, Madhapur, Gachibowli in the western region of Hyderabad. Additionally, several neighborhoods are also likely to benefit from infrastructure, especially metro connectivity such as Uppal and LB Nagar in the east and Falaknuma in the south. Let's take a look at a couple of numbers here. While the number of launches this year has been low when compared to last year, in the residential market, absorption has been steady. On the other hand, commercial realty in the city has seen increase in supply, and office space absorption has been steady as well. However, when compared to cities like Pune and Chennai, the last 1 year has clearly been a turnaround for Hyderabad, and this city has clearly had an edge over the two cities. Now, to discuss this market some more, we have Gulam Zia, Executive Director at Knight Frank, joining us on Magic Bricks Now. Thank you so much for joining us here today, Mr. Zia. First question to you. Give us your perspective on how the residential market has fared in Hyderabad over the last 1 year.
The residential market of Hyderabad is coming out of the woods. Last couple of years of political uncertainty and lots of local issues had kept this market absolutely kind of in comatose. So at last, with some political stability coming back, many of the office seekers, the IT companies, even other services sectors have started looking at Hyderabad favorably, and that has obviously clearly reflected upon the housing demand in the city. And going forward as well, it seems to be continuing because besides the stability, even the work, infrastructure improvement, like for example the metro that is under construction, is going ahead at fast pace, and that is also improving the public transport system of the city. So overall, we are looking at a pretty positive scenario for Hyderabad city.
All right, so public transport system is clearly a positive there, but also tell us how the commercial real estate market has performed in the last 1 year.
The reason behind driving the housing market as well, because the office market has started doing too good, and locally, internally in the country at least, Bengaluru is obviously the biggest IT market, but besides that, whether it is Pune, Hyderabad, Chennai, etc., actually are almost at the same rank after Bengaluru. And because of lesser supplies available in Bengaluru, because of prices notching up in Bengaluru, obviously the oversupply, the demand which goes out of Bengaluru is divided between these 2 or 3 cities. But even Pune and Chennai haven't really been showing too much of new supply, and hence Hyderabad is a winner.
All right, getting into some specifics here when it comes to commercial real estate market in Hyderabad, give us your list, give us a list of key emerging areas and the reasons behind their growth.
The growth of Hyderabad has always been in the vicinity of or around the western region of Hyderabad, because of the major IT and office spaces have always been located over here, starting from High-Tech City, that's Madhapur, to Gachibowli, to Kokapet, and a lot of these areas are in the vicinity. And that's exactly where the office spaces or the office space absorption or job creation keeps on happening. While east, which is Uppal and some locations in that vicinity, have also started slowly showing up, but overall office space absorption still remains focused on western side.
All right, last question. What is your outlook for Hyderabad market in 2016?
2016 will continue to be positive for Hyderabad. Starting from 2015, the green shoots were already visible, and those green shoots are expected to bloom and to grow and give the city a kind of an edge over many others, like for example, definitely over Chennai and Pune. So with that happening, the economic drivers for the city are falling in place. We spoke about infrastructure with metro opening up, with best of the roads, best of the public infrastructure, public transport infrastructure in place. This city is poised for a growth in 2016 as well.
All right, positive outlook for 2016 for Hyderabad's realty market. Then thank you so much for joining us here on Magic Bricks now, Mr. Zia. Moving on, while we've heard analysts' growth prospects for next year, what do citizens expect from the realty market in 2016? Are they waiting for another price correction? Will more fence-sitters buy homes in 2016? Are they eagerly awaiting the arrival of the much sought-after realty regulator? To answer all these questions, my colleagues Deepa Rana and Johika Desai caught up with a few citizens in Delhi and Mumbai. Let's first take a look at what citizens in Delhi want.
I wish that in the new year the price also come down, it become more reasonable.
So first of all, I think the tax level, they should restructure it. I think that is the prime thing. Actually, the common man's needs should be kept in mind. Whatever they discuss in parliament or whatever the bill they are going to pass, common man's needs, that should be in their prime concern.
Everyone want to have their own house, and until unless the prices are come down, people will not be able to have their own house.
The prices are a different issue, but sometimes customers are feeling fleeced by real estate developers. So that real estate regulatory bill is very important.
A humble request to the opposition that at least they should run the parliament. Unless the parliament is functioning, how can you get any of the bills passed?
All right, that was the wish list of Delhi citizens. Let's move on to Amchi, Mumbai. What hopes do Mumbaikars have from the country's most expensive real estate market in 2015? Take a look.
I think that the inventory is too much and there are no buyers, and this is just an hype. The prices should come down. It has many good advantages for the people, and it has to pass, because without passing this bill, nobody is going to benefit.
Already there is a lot of softening in the prices, but I think in the days to come it's going to soften further.
The rate of interest is already being gone down, so that is a good thing what government has done. So I believe, I think apart from that, any other taxes and all things can go down on, so it can help consumers to go for houses.
They can't afford such a big इतना rate से buy नहीं कर सकते, तो थोड़ा सोचना चाहिए. 2-3,000 per square feet के हिसाब से middle class के लिए अगर आ जाएगा तो it's okay.
Alright, so understandably, citizens are clearly hoping for prices to correct more in the near future in both Delhi and Mumbai. Let's now move on to India's Silicon Valley, Bengaluru. What does the market have in store for 2016? My colleague Rahul Dayama caught up with one of the top brokers in the city to find out exactly that.
In terms of new launches is there an aggressive launch from builders here? What can consumers expect in terms of launches the coming year?
The last quarter has seen a lot of aggressive launches, and I think we're expecting that to continue in the first quarter of 2016. So the aggressive launches will continue. There is a little slowdown on the residential sector, but we expect that to be very temporary, because the commercial sector is doing very well, and that will sustain the residential market, especially in Bangalore.
So you're pointing out that there's a little bit of a slowdown in the residential sector. What are the factors really? Is it the macroeconomic conditions, or what really is driving to this sort of a slowdown you referred to?
I think basically it's because of the inventory. There's a lot of inventory right now where the catch-up has to happen. Like I said, it's just temporarily because the commercial sector is doing very well. The last year you've seen the commercial absorption of rental was the highest in the country. So that will take care of the residential sector. And we looked at the second half of the 2016, we'll find the markets doing much better.
All right. Also, in terms of areas here in Bangalore, largely the demand is driven across the IT corridor, your Whitefield, Sajapur area. But do you see this trend continuing? Where are you really seeing the inquiries, the interest from buyers coming? Which are the neighborhoods that are really driving the interest?
The IT corridor will continue to absorb more flats and more inquiries. But the new sector is the Bangalore North sector, where the airport is right now. So in the next 5-6 years, you'll see a lot of growth happening in the Bangalore North sector, especially Bellary Road and Hennu Road and those Jalali, Yelanka. So this is the sector that will be in the limelight in the coming years.
Alright, there's only one day to go for 2016 to begin and the holiday season is in full swing. For those of you who don't have any plans and need a quick getaway ahead of the new year, then here's a good place to visit. On this week's episode of The Great Getaways, Magic Bricks Now's Kamya Verma takes you through the picturesque hill station Mahabaleshwar that is known for its panoramic views and luscious strawberries. Take a look at what this quaint hill station has to offer.
Winding roads, cool breeze at all times, vantage points offering breathtaking views of hills, valleys and plenty of strawberries. Well, that's Mahabaleshwar for you, a well-known weekend getaway in the Western Ghats of Maharashtra and a popular destination for second home. With the world getting more crowded, neighbors coming uncomfortably closer and personal space shrinking, a lot of city-bred professionals are seeking refuge in quieter, serener areas. Buying a second home or a vacation home, as they aptly call it, is being featured on almost everyone's aspirational list. Thanks to Mahabaleshwar's proximity to cities like Mumbai and Pune and its picturesque location, many choose to build a second home in this hill station. Mahabaleshwar and strawberries is the first thing that comes to your mind. These red, gorgeous looking strawberries are so inviting that I bet you will make a stopover to try a few. The berry bounty abounds in Mahabaleshwar and its neighbouring Panchgani. Raspberry, mulberry, gooseberry and of course the luscious red strawberry attracts the berry lovers. One of the most serene and beautiful places in Panchgani, the Krishna Devi Mandir, is a very beautiful rock temple. Marginalized due to the more popular Panchaganga and Mahabaleshwar temples, this temple is often overlooked in preference to the others.
Alright, remember you can catch the rest of the show Great Getaways only on Magic Bricks. Now we're out of time on this show, but remember if you have any feedback or suggestions for us, write to us on the email IDs that are on your screens. We're also on Twitter and Facebook. Feel free to tweet to us or post your query on our Facebook page. Also, check out our website www.mbnow.in. The IDs are on your screens and we would love to hear from you. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of News on Magic Bricks Now. Thank you for watching.